Hey, Salakia. Salakia. I'm trying to make sure we live. Con. All right. So first and foremost, I want to give all first and foremost, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahavakak, Wadash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, the teachers word, the truth, and sincerity, and from ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii. And this is our GMS Hawaii Bob page, which is our second page. Because right now, the main page is it's got a strike on it, so can't upload videos. I pulled it, but you know how Esau is in this climate and in this day that we're in. So for all those that's available to tune in, the water Yahweh Shema Shai for you brothers and select Aquaf that's tuning in. Today's topic, okay, the topic of this today's video is called the Famine of the Word, and that's basically what's starting to happen. YouTube making these different policies about how you should conduct yourself or say or speak in regards to using their platform. Most people try to use the First Amendment right to freedom of speech, but on this side it don't really work. Especially using Esau's technology, he's trying to mute the truth. And that's exactly what all of this that you're seeing happen is really about. The past weekend, you had several mass shootings, and Esau pick and choose which ones he wanted to put on the front and have people, engage with, but really, it like Elder Muatazat from the LA camp said, this is Esau trying to get his paperwork together. A lot of these videos that we post, he takes down if he feels like or he deems it's too harsh or too true. If you all excited or passionate, he'll take it down and claim he deleted it. But don't be surprised when this fool uses those same videos. He bring them back up and say, "Oh, look, this is how these people are." But as the scripture says in 2 Corinthians 2:11, this 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get the advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, the things that he's going to use to try to entrap Jake, to try to what's the word I want to use? There's a word to defame us. I could say that, but as try to basically a word used to try to make us look like we're the bad guys, when in reality we're the truth. We're the good guys, man. We're preaching the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, we're telling our people who we are. And so we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, how he uses and manipulates YouTube. And that's why if you're a brother in this faith, man, it behooves all of us to do the work while we got an opportunity to, because as you can see, it's getting to the point now you can't even say nothing. The video that I did a live show on the way to camp, and I guess it was too raw for Esau. Never once in the video did I say, people should go out and do something to Esau or this, that, and third. I was bringing up historical facts, and I was definitely passionate about it. But the point of the matter is they found that offensive, or somebody found that offensive, which Esau, he watches all of these videos, even these live streams, whether he's an embedded host, behind a host, whatever, whether he's a person claiming to be a sincere listener on a comment board, he's watching all these videos to see what we're going to say, how we say it, so that he could basically criminalize us for speaking the truth, man. But like the scriptures also say too, this is 2 Corinthians 13:8, for we can do nothing against the truth before the truth. Right. So as much as you try to demonize us, as much as you try to make us look like we're the bad guys, all you're going to do is just push forth the truth even more, and people are going to want to figure out who the Israelites are, what we talking about, what we all about. And in the spirit of the Lord is dealing with certain little individuals. They're gonna see that, hey, Great Millstone is the truth. That's where the truth is at, man. The 100%, and that's all we're speaking about. And all of this entails the famine of the word, because Jake has had an opportunity to hear this word. I came into faith through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh about 5 years ago. But by that time, which was like 2014, well, when I put my hand to the plow, it was like 2014. You know, the apostles had already been on YouTube for 7 years, man. And throughout that whole particular time, and in my short time, I've seen many people hear the truth. I've seen many people flag at the truth, flag their hand at the truth. I've seen many people make mockery. I've seen many people come in sincere. And so seeing those in my little bit of time, you're starting to see how this truth is proliferated all throughout the internet. We literally, through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh, have changed the internet. All of these YouTube policies that Esau is using to try to thwart the word. Hey, man, it's only because we're doing the right thing, And now Esau is going to come to a point where he's going to demonize us and make us the bad guys. We're not out here doing any of those things that Esau is doing. Right. Like I just brought that out, brother. And shalom to the brother Kayah Math and Anthony Johnson, 2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Right. So you can't fight against the truth. The truth is the truth. You don't have to lie about the truth. You don't have to make up anything. It stands alone by itself. And this is the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The things that you Edomites have done to the children of Israel, you're the ones you're the haters. We're not the haters. Because we speak about it, we become haters. Like what the Yahweh Shai say, because I tell you the truth. Let me get that real quick. I think it was Yahweh Shai Paul. Galatians was Paul. Galatians 4:16. Galatians 4:16. Yep, Galatians 4:16. It says, "Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?" And that's what we've become to our people, to the so-called white man and his agenda, the super elite. You see, because really, this man is trying to control the narrative. He don't want the truth out, even though it's out there in his face. But the majority of people in this country, they're just simple-minded people anyway. They don't think about the things that happened in the past, how they can happen again. They don't think about the turmoil that the Israelites have been through, the so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans have been through in this country and all throughout the world. As a nation, we've been destroyed. We've been oppressed. We've been abused. We've been exploited. Okay, they've been trying to stamp us out from the beginning. I was watching a video of this dude Trump, and he was like, just doing when he was running for his campaign. He said if any of these people would have protested, back in the day, they would have been put down quick. But see, that shows that you Edomites, that your power is waning, and the reason why you're acting the way you're acting, is in the scriptures. This is Revelation 12:12. Revelation 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time." Right. So this devil, which is the so-called white man, okay, when that word devil is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan, it's talking about the deceiver. Let's go to it real quick. Devil, diablos, okay, and it says devil, false accuser, slanderer, it says prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. That's the so-called white man. A culminator, false accuser, a slanderer, a metaphor applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil, or to side with them, and that's the so-called white man. That's 100% the so-called white man. That speech that Trump gave today, okay, that 10-minute quick speech that he read off a teleprompter, and I watched it live on YouTube. That was nothing more than a bunch of lies, a bunch of deception. That's all that was, man. And at the end of the day, see, the so-called white man is such a bitch He can't come out and just cut things off. One, the Most High is in control of this thing. Okay, and two, he don't have that kind of backbone, man, because he can't tell you that, hey, look, my agenda is to cut YouTube off, to stop this truth from flourishing, to stop these so-called Black Hispanics, Native Americans from calling themselves Israelites, and to stamp out the truth so I can push forth my new world order agenda. No, he got to do it through deception. He got to do it cunningly. He got to do it craftily, and that's what he's been doing. And this devil gets on a microphone and talks about how America is no place for hate, but this place exudes hatred. It was built on hatred. It was built on bloodshed. It was built on lies and robbery. That's in the scriptures. So again, Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, Esau, Edom, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he have a short time. And these actions that this dude is taking, especially on this platform, YouTube, we're cutting people off. See, and it's funny because it's not funny, but I'm just saying this in a sarcastic way, but how on YouTube you can see chicks shaking their ass, popping a coochie. You can damn near see somebody naked on YouTube. You see people getting ran over, punched, and kicked, and all of these things that you see on YouTube. But the moment we start speaking about the truth and start bringing out you Edomites eat wicked deeds, that's when all hell breaks loose. Now you want to cut videos, you want to take stuff out, and we take other videos and put it on our videos and try to edify through that, and you give us a strike. But that same video is still on YouTube. That's the devil, man. He don't want you to have so-called freedom of speech. He don't want you to have, man, he don't want us Israelites to have no freedom. They want to always be on top. They want to always have us on the bottom. They want to always be the one in power, and that's not how it works. The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Let me get that real quick. Daniel, was it 4:17? Yep. Daniel 4:17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. So Yahweh Shem Shai rules in the kingdom of men, and it says he give it to whomsoever he want, and he set up the bases of men. And the lowest of all of man on the earth is the so-called white man. I saw another video, this damn devil shooting up a pair of Jordans in the woods somewhere because he's such a bitch. He won't go to no Negro neighborhood or Latino neighborhood or Native American area and say the things that he say. Oh, I hate black people. They stink. They smelly. What? No, that's you Edomites, man. You Edomites are masters at projection. You'll project everything off of yourself and put it onto somebody else. But you're the lowest of the low. You're the bases of men. Okay? You're the lowest that a human can ever get. You got this evolutionary chart, and you see a little monkey, then he turns into a monkey man, then he turns into a Homo sapien and a Homo erectus or some crazy shit, and he turns into an Edomite. Well, really, that's your Edomite's growth, but it didn't happen over millions of years, man. It didn't happen 80,000 years ago, man. You know what I mean? You devils was in the Caucasus Mountains living a low life, man. Until the Most High really had you on ice so that he can use you today. Because without that, you'd have been wiped out. And you eventually, that's going to be your end. But anyway, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So this man is acting like a desperate man. He's coming down with great wrath, and his wrath is through his policies, is through his procedures, because it's too much. It's too much. This is too much. The truth is too much for an Edomite, and that's the crazy thing. It's not like we out here sticking people up. We out here forcing people to believe in what we believe. It's not like we out here telling lies. We out here telling 100% truth, and this is the things we get. Like the brother said, he talked about hate. He talked about hate and had a picture of George Washington, a slave owner, in the background. Exactly, man. But that wasn't hate. It wasn't hate that George Washington would pull out the teeth of his slave and put it in his own fucking head because he ain't had no teeth. They try to pass that lie off. Oh, he had wooden teeth. You know, no, this nigga had teeth of his slaves in his mouth. You know, this dude had Israelites in slavery while he was so-called fighting in the Revolutionary War. You know, but it shows you the hypocrisy of these people, man, of this man. And through his policies and through his hypocrisy, he's trying to shut this word up. But it's really not him. It's really the Most High is going to bring this thing to a close, because it comes a certain point when the Most High talks to his people and warns and warns and warns, and then he brings out the physical judgment, and that's what's about to happen. You know, that physical judgment is about to take place here on the earth, man. And just like they didn't believe Noah when he spoke about it, a man that was on earth, including the sons of God, the sons of the powers, they didn't want to believe. They didn't want to hear it. They were like, oh, it could never rain. Oh, it's never going to happen. Well, guess what? Now it did happen. And everybody drowned except 8 people. Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives, man. You know? So this Hosea chapter, what's it, Hosea? I think it's Hosea. Hosea, chapter 9, verse 10. It's Hosea 9 and 10. It says, Salaki, not 9 10. Hosea, I think it's 5. Hold on. Salaki, bear with me, brothers. This is this is Hosea. Hosea chapter 12. Yep, and 10. Hosea 12 and 10. It's Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. It says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So the Most High, the Heavenly Father, when he speaks by his prophets. And we believe that we're those men, starting off with the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and those sincere Akim that's out there week in and week out, risking their lives to preach this word, okay, in truth and sincerity, and not doing it with any guile or any deceit, okay. And so the Most High speak through his prophets, and he's sent us out here to warn his people. You know, let me see if I can find that. He sent us out here to warn his people. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm just going to type in warn in the blue letter. Okay, warn. It says, and warn, shall even warn them. Yep. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 18. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked ways to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So when we came into this truth wasn't just for us to come into it and just to receive it and sit on it. When we came into this faith, the Lord gave us this word. He gave us the gift of faith, okay, to believe in his word, and his word that was given to us by his apostles, the prophets, okay. He didn't just give us these words to keep to ourselves. Once we found out this word and we ate the roll, we were supposed to go out and warn the wicked of our people, okay, and tell them the words that are written in the Bible. Tell them the words that Yahweh Shai said. Speak to them about the prophecies. It says we had to warn them, okay. Now, when you look up that word for warn, it says the Hebrew word there is zahar. Zahar, it says to admonish, to warn, teach, shine, send out light, to be light. And did not Yahweh Shai say he's the truth, the way, the light? And so we're the light, you know, and we're not supposed to hide that light that's shining in us. We're not supposed to hide that light and just hold it to ourselves, or I'm gonna just keep it to myself and just chill to me and my family. Like, no, you don't just get this word freely. Scripture says, freely you receive, freely you give. Scripture says, buy the word and sell it not. So you receive this word, we're supposed to give it. Why? Because the Lord told us to warn them. It says to warn, to admonish, to shine, to send out light, to be light. So not only do we tell our people the right thing to do according to the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're actually being exemplifiers in that by doing it ourselves and living it and expressing that and living it every day, not just on the weekends when we out there telling you and then we out here doing some other stuff. No, we are literally applying the same word that we're admonishing our people with and warning our people with. We're putting it to ourselves. It says to admonish, to warn, to teach, to shine, to send light, to be shining, to be taught, to be admonished, because our people have to be taught, to teach and warn. And that's what we're doing. We're teaching. As we're warning you, we're teaching you. We're teaching our people who they are. We're teaching our people the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son, which is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's Yahweh and the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. We're actually doing that. You know, we go into history. We go into modern times. We go into the future, and then we bring all of that back to the scriptures, and we teach our people, man. So again, when you read Ezekiel chapter when you read Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 18, it says, when I say unto the wicked, and how's the Lord saying this to the wicked? Through this word that we're giving you, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest them not warning, because 2/3 of our people are going to die in their sins, and we don't want to die in our sins. That's why we constantly repenting. That's why we doing what's commanded of us. Nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, and our people don't see it. You got this word. This word has been on the YouTube for 12 years, okay? And on top of that, the apostles and the elders have been, laboring in this truth for over 30 years, okay? Then you got other brothers that did 20, 25, 10 years, 5 years, whatever, laboring in this faith, right? Out here on these major cities, wherever you go, they're Israelites. I mean, there was a time where when I was coming up, I didn't really see no Israelites like that, but they were still there. Just because I didn't see them don't mean they wasn't there, But when I was a kid growing up in Philly, I don't recall like running into them. But now when you go to Philadelphia, man, there's camps everywhere. There's camps all over every major city in the United States, pretty much, man. There's camps all in and out of Europe. There's camps in Africa, camps in Australia. You know what I'm saying? You got camps in Canada. You know what I mean? And you got great millstone camps all over what I'm saying, all of these different places. You got Great Millstone, you got ISUPK, you got IUIC, you got GOCC, even though they're going the hell off. But the fact of the matter is, you basically can't go nowhere without hearing that you're an Israelite. You know how many times we've been on the highways and hedges and people just walk up and say, oh man, that's that Israelite thing. We had some one dude last week, he didn't stop by, but he threw his fist up like, hey, like a shalom motion, saying, hey, yeah, I know about this, the brother Ezekiel 808 Israelite Kayamath, Ezekiel 3:17, son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. Right, and Jake don't want that. The Most High made us watchmen to the house of Israel because nobody else is warning the true house of Israel about anything. The so-called white man got you niggas in oblivion. If it was up to him, you would never know anything. You would just be Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Black, Haitian, African American, colored, Negro, and all you would know is that you was a slave at one time. And that's it. None of these other nations are warning us about what's going on, why the things are happening to our people. The only ones that's doing this is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and he set up his apostles and prophets to do so. 808 Israelite Isaiah 62:6. It says, I have set watchmen upon the walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. So it's a commandment that if we make mention of Yahweh Shem Shai, we can't keep silent. We gotta speak. We gotta say something. But there comes a time when you just stop talking. And that's what Yahweh Shem Shai is about to do to Jake. He's about to stop talking. And then once the Lord stopped talking, that's when all hell breaks loose. Jacob's trouble, written about in Jeremiah 7 and Jeremiah 30 and 7. All hell's about to break loose, man. Okay, and again, nobody is warning them except the men of the Lord through Yahweh Shem Shai. Luke 21 and 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Right. So that's what we're doing. We're watching and praying. Every time a news article pop up, every time a major issue or just a prophecy is shown on TV or an article is being shown to be being fulfilled, we bring it out. Every time something is going on in the world, we don't just be like, we're not just reporting on it like for shock value. Oh, look, it's a riot out here. It's a riot out here. People are going crazy. They're stealing. No, that's what the news is. That's what the fake news is for, man. We out here telling you, hey, this is the reason why this is happening. Because it's going to come a time where people are going to wonder why the things are happening that are happening. Real quick, this is Isaiah 33 and 6. Isaiah 33 and 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Right. And that wisdom and knowledge is his word. Okay. The strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right. We fear Yahweh Shem Shai. You know what I mean? So we fear him. We're going to do as commanded of him. We're going to believe in him, and we're going to hope for the salvation. But in the end, when all this shit is going down, when Jacob's trouble is happening, when this man rolls on Jake and basically tries to decimate Jake from the streets of America and anywhere else they're at, man, the only thing that's going to keep us stable in that day is the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, which we are sharing with the people that do not want it. But that's all right, because again, when all hell breaks loose, then you're going to want to know. But you can't say nobody's warned you. This is Ezekiel 3 and 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. So we did what we were supposed to do. If you don't listen, that's why when you read Ezekiel chapter 2, he told Ezekiel, look, man, whether they hear or forbear, then they're going to know it was a prophet amongst them, man. So whether they hear it or they ignore it, but if you ignore it, hey, that's your fault. And then we had a junction now where you can't say nobody's told me, nobody. I don't know what that Israelite thing is about. This is something new to me. You really can't say that, because it's everywhere. It's all on the internet. It's all on YouTube, man. All you gotta do is type in I, and as soon as you type in I, Israelite's gonna come up. Okay. And that's how serious this thing is, man. And we warned you, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, verse 21, nevertheless, if thou warn a righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul. So we're down here too, because you got 2/3 of our people are not going to listen. And we already know that. That's why we don't get upset. We don't get frustrated. That's all right. But 1/3, the righteous, they're going to listen. And they're going to turn away from their sins, and they're not going to sin purposely, And guess what? We have delivered our soul. Ezekiel 33 and 3. If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. And that's what we're doing. We see this. We see the sword coming, man. This dude get on the news and start talking about how the internet is the problem, how video games is the problem. Never once did he say that it's the so-called white man. He mentioned white supremacy, but it's you Edomites that's doing this shit, man. It's you Edomites. The majority of these mass shootings that have occurred within the last, not even years, 6 months, it's all been Edomites, man. But never once do they get demonized, man. Oh, it was just a rogue devil. It was a rogue Edomite, a rogue white guy. You know, some guy that wasn't getting no box. He was up in a house with a manifesto. And it don't you Jakes don't even see the pattern. Every time they get a fucking so-called mass shooter, this nigga got a manifesto, man. And he always puts it out right before he does what he does. Then he gets shot to death. And then, nobody sees the body, no funerals, no nothing. You don't see no funerals about none of these people that so-called died. None of them, man. Meanwhile, in Chicago, the south side of Chicago, 47 to 50-something people get shot, get put to death, and you don't hear shit about that. That's not important. This devil, he's talking all this shit about immigration, but he hates you so-called Mexicans, man. This dude, he hates you. He thinks you're all criminals. He thinks you're all leeches. He thinks you're all rapists, drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? When the white man is the so-called biggest drug dealer. The so-called white man is the biggest drug dealer on the planet Earth. He's the biggest murderer on the planet Earth, man. The biggest liar, cheater, thief, all of that. That's you, man. Donald Trump condemns white supremacy, warns of internet perils, and calls Dayton Toledo. Yeah, this nigga don't even got his facts straight. You know? And that show you that the people that write his speeches on his teleprompter, they got this nigga in a trick bag, man. They make an open mockery of their so-called president, man. Video game group responds. It says, with video game industry response describing the weakened shooter as twisted monsters and wicked, which they are, they're Edomites, President Donald Trump said our nation must condemn racism, which they don't, bigotry, and white supremacy. And so anything we say out of our mouth, they quickly say, oh, that's racist. Oh, that's racist. Or you're trying to put a race down. Wait a minute. Everything that you're doing is putting a nation of people down. Okay? This whole system is a racist, bigoted, white supremacist system. And that's why Yahweh Shai said, if Satan be divided against Satan, how therefore can his house stand? It can't. Okay? It says, condemns racism, bigotry, and white supremacy in a speech from the White House this morning. In today's address following shootings in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, incorrectly referred to by Trump as Toledo, at one point during the speech, the president also called for mental health law reform and criticized the internet as a means to radicalize disturbed minds. So here it is. They blaming the internet for radicalizing so-called disturbed minds. And that's what they're going to call us. Oh, these guys are whack jobs. They're crazy. They got Bibles in their hand. They talking about the white man is the devil. He's going to go into slavery. America's going to be destroyed. Nuclear fire. But guess what? All that shit's going to happen. What you going to say when this place is destroyed by nuclear missiles? Oh, it was an accident. Oh, that was a coincidence. Hell no, man. What you going to say when Yahweh Shai comes back standing on a chariot with a whole bunch of chariots surrounding them? Oh, that was a coincidence? No, you're going to be like, damn, they were right. But according to this dude, he says the internet is a means to radicalize disturbed minds. Okay? So if you believe something off the internet, you got a disturbed mind. If you believe, and that's how the most of us wake up, off the internet, off of YouTube, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, hearing the word. We heard the word. But this dude says that this guy, we don't even know if these two dudes are real. We don't know if these shootings are real. Again, you never see a funeral, never see a body. And if you do see some shit, it's scattered on the ground. It's all can be staged, but you don't even give that an option. Okay, you never see this. They claim they got one shooter, and they show a picture of this dude, but then he look like a whole different dude. I looked him up, the El Paso shooter. I looked it up today. Alleged shooter case El Paso. Yeah, it says El Paso shooter went to Walmart because he was hungry. You see this shit, man? You see this shit? So he just went to shooting people because he was hungry. Come on, man. Yeah, they got a picture. They had a picture of this Joker, man. Yeah, right here. So they got this dude, right? He's supposed to be. Hold on, Salakia. I just want to get to the point. So this dude, this right here, matter of fact, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Images. So this guy is supposed to be this guy. I'm not sure if these are the same dudes. They look a little different than me. You know, shooter and at the garlic festival. Yeah, that shit happened in California. That was last week. So you had the garlic festival. You had El Paso, and then you had Dayton, Ohio. All three of them were Edomites, man, so-called white people, man. But never once did you say, man, we got a problem with white supremacy in America to the point where all these mass shooters are devils, man. Because it's you Edomites that got hold of these guns, and you got Jake out here posing and putting themselves in pictures with guns and shit, like they're gonna do something. These motherfucking devils, they get high, and they claim that this dude got a high-power rifle off the internet. I didn't even know you could buy guns on the internet. But anyway, this is supposed to be this guy. He looks a little different to me. Maybe gained some weight. I don't know. But these guys look different, man. And then this is supposed to be the shooter. You didn't even hear nothing about the Garlic Festival shit. That shit happened and it's over. Oh, Garlic Festival gone. Okay. So they show this guy. And everybody, and then now they trying to make Jake act the shooter near El Paso Mall. They trying to make Jake the new face of terrorism, man. You know, you Edomites is the devil, man. You know? It's you Edomites that's done this, man. What part of the internet are you getting radicalized to go out there and do some wicked shit like that? Kill a whole bunch of people that, you know, and just be the demon. You know, which really they show that if the FBI really be setting a lot of these guys up. But see, when we start talking like that, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. That's all about, which really that word was made up by the CIA, man. Conspiracy theorists. And that's why J. Rockefeller said the internet should have never been invented, really, because they're being exposed on all levels. You know, you Edomites that like to, you know, eat shit, drink blood, kill people, human sacrifice, all that. You being exposed, man. Okay, you being exposed for the devils that you are, man. The truth about you is coming out. You can't hide it no more, man. So anyway, it says the president also called for mental health law reform and criticized the internet as a means to radicalize disturbed minds. In the address that began shortly after 10 a.m., Trump also said capital punishment should be delivered quickly, decisively, and without years of needless delay. What does that sound like to you, man? Guillotine death, man. Put him under the guillotine. Oh, we just labeled this dude a radicalized, disturbed mind. Put him in a guillotine, chop his head off. You don't want the chip, chop his head off. That's the kind of shit that he's talking about, man. This nigga's always talking about putting somebody to death, but he don't want to go. You Edomites, you love killing people. Your hands in history is drenched in bloodshed, but y'all want to live here forever. You got some nerve, man. You Edomites got some fucking nerve, man. You got some nerve, man. Punishment, and then he wants to put people to death without even a real cause, man. Like them the Central Park 5, man. They didn't rape that lady. They didn't rape that woman. But soon as it came out, oh, he put a 2-3 page ad or whatever in the newspaper talking about they should be put to death. And he never apologized about that. Meanwhile, the state of New York paid millions of dollars to these dudes for being wrongfully in prison. You know? And that's the white man for you, man. Edom. That's Edom for you, man. In the address that began shortly after 10 a.m., Trump also said that capital punishment should be delivered quickly, decisively, and without years of needless delay in hate crimes, and directed his Department of Justice to propose such death penalty legislation. Saturday's shooting at Walmart in El Paso, Texas, is being treated as a domestic terrorism and a possible hate crime. The shooter, now in custody, posted a racist manifesto prior to shooting. You know, and that's really like I said, this all going to be pushed to the famine of the word. This is Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst, for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. So that's what this is really about. We can get on Esau, and we do, and we see his trickery, but really this is the Lord pulling his word back. And it is going to be trying. It is going to be troublesome for us in these coming days, man, because this is to prove our faith. But Yahweh Shai said he's going to be with us always through it all, man. He's going to deliver us through whatever. He said that, and I believe it. So the Most High is pulling his word back up off the streets. He's going to pull it off the internet. It ain't going to be so easily accessible as it is now. For a lot of you scoffers, you just get on the comment board, you just talk nonsensical things. You just talk, run your mouth, and assume that everybody's listening. Well, it's going to come a time where your life of scoffing is going to be over, man. You ain't going to be able to get on the live shows. You ain't going to be able to scoff at the apostles and the elders and the brothers for doing what's right. Like Vocab Malone, he's literally made a career off of scoffing the Israelites. But that's okay, because that's going to be short-lived, because this is going to be off the internet. You ain't going to get it so freely. So let me keep reading. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. Right, they're gonna go all on the internet. What's the name of the Lord? Yahweh. Was it Yahweh Shah? Was a great millstone, or men of valor, or what was this? What's this Israelite thing? You're gonna be trying to find out, because right now Jake's just in a mirth spirit. All you see niggas partying and dancing and partying and dancing. They got a cup in their hand, drinking. They just happy, filled with mirth. Like they just won a championship or something. Jake is just in the spirit of mirth. They're not trying to hear this word. Well, it's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to hear the word, and nor are you going to be able to find it. And that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. What thirst are they going to faint for? This water of life. This water of life. They're going to want it, and they're not going to be able to receive it. Shit going to be happening on biblical proportions, and they can't explain it. They don't know why it's happening. They want to know, and they can't know. They can't even handle the truth. So this is serious. So the Most High is going to pull this, stop this. He gonna close it down, because you had the opportunity to hear, and when you heard it, you didn't want to hear it. Now, even with that being said, here go Esau framing mischief, man. This is real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So this dude was also mentioning something about red flag laws, right? This is the first time I'd ever heard it before, but it says in the United States, a red flag law is a gun violence prevention law that permits police or family members to petition a state court to order the temporary removal of firearms from a person who may present a danger to others or themselves. So these red flag laws, they're in a few states right now. They're not all over the country. They got a red flag law here in Hawaii. I know this. But now there's going to be all across America, and that's just going to be a reason for these Edomite, these military and these local law enforcement to take your people weapons, man. We don't over here in Great Millstone. We don't prescribe getting weapons. We're not into that. You know what I'm saying? We don't tell people to get the arm up, none of that, because our defense is Yahweh Shai. We don't tell people to go out and incite violence. Nah, we telling you that, hey, this is going to happen according to the word, the scripture of Yahweh Shai. It says in the United States, a red flag law is a gun violence prevention law that permits police and family members to petition a state court to order the temporary removal of firearms from a person who may present a danger to others or themselves. A judge makes a determination to issue the order based on the statements, actions made by the gun owner in question. Refusal to comply with the order is punishable as a criminal offense. After a set time, the guns are returned to the person from whom they were seized unless another court hearing extends the period of confiscation. Such orders are known as extreme risk protection orders, or ERPO, in Oregon, Washington, Maryland, and a risk protection orders in Florida, a gun violence restraining orders in California, at risk warrants in Connecticut. It says proceedings for a seizure or retention of firearm in Indiana. In August 2019, 17 states have passed some form of red flag law, though the degree of enforcement varies between states. So they're creating these laws. They don't want you to defend yourself, and really, they're not going to come out and tell you that. They're not going to come out and say the reason why we got these laws and these false flags happening is because we want to take the weapons out of the people's hands so that you can't defend yourself when they roll on you, man. Because they're not just going to be rolling on Israelites; they're going to be rolling on all you average everyday Americans. And then the crazy thing about it is they're going to have you niggas enlisting in their military to go fight a war in another country. You know what I mean? Like, this place is through, man. This place is through. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and the needy are the Israelites, and take away the right from the poor of my people. Right, they take away the rights of us, man. We're the poor. They take away our rights, man. The widows, that the widow may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And that's what they did. Because when Yahweh turned away from us, we were fatherless, man. And these other nations knew it. These other nations, they look at us like, look, man, they ain't got their power, they weak. We could do whatever we want to do to them, and nobody can stop us. That's their mentality. The brother Anthony Johnson, Edom sometimes might do false flag attacks, order out of chaos to take your guns away. Right. Well, they're already doing that right now. And these laws that Esau make are so vague that they can stretch them forth and do whatever they want with them, man. You know, the brother Kiyamav, Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even unto the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Right. That's what happened. They're going to be running to and fro trying to figure out what's going on. Right. And again, Esau, he does this because he knows that when we're away from our power, we're separated from our power, basically we're powerless. When we're sinning and committing iniquity, which that's all Jake has been doing on his side, man. But it came a time where the Lord said, nope, now I'm going to raise up my elect. Now I'm going to raise up my prophets. And that started with Abba Bivens, man. And it carried all the way on to the apostles and the elders that we see today, and the brothers on down that we see today that sincerely contending for the faith, man. Right? These devils, they know when we're separated from our power, they pretty much can have their way with us. This is out of Judith, the book of Judith, chapter 6, verse 1. And I'm gonna just skip on down. I was reading this earlier. This is Judith 5:23. For say they, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel. For lo, it is a people that have no strength nor power for a strong battle. Why? Because when we commit sin and iniquity, the Most High is not with us, man. But when we follow His ways and do what is commanded of us, He's with us, man. So He's going to be with the elect, but 2/3, He's not going to be with them. You know. So they say, look, we could do whatever we want. We ain't scared of them because look, they eating pork, they're gay, they're breaking the other laws, they're committing adultery, you know. They push all of that shit through their music. They push all of that on our people through their entertainment, through their literature, through their academia. They do all of that. They push all of these. They put that cup to our mouth, and they watch us drink, and then they try to go back to the Lord and say, look at your people. It says, for they say, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel. For lo, it is a people that have no strength nor power for a strong battle. Now, therefore, Lord Holofernes, we will go up, and they shall be a prey and be devoured of all thine army. And we end up being delivered from that. And that's what Judith helped. And she cut this nigga head off through the spirit, probably how about Shemal Shai. Hold on. It says, this is Judith chapter 6, Yep. This is Judah chapter 6, verse 18. It says, Then the people fell down and worshiped the Most High and cried unto the Heavenly Father, saying, O Lord, power of heaven, behold their pride and pity, the lowest state of our nation, and look upon the face of those that are sanctified until thee this day. Then they comforted Achor and praised him greatly. Right. And so when our people go back to the Lord, man, come back to the Lord, and we got protection, man. And the Most High he has pity on us, man. He have mercy on us, man. Because these nations, they see us in our lowest state, and they just think that we just going to roll on them. We just going to do whatever we want. We're going to use them as slaves. We're going to exploit them. That's why these heathens are all in the ghetto, man. Exploiting Jake, man. Watching Jake go off, kill each other, shoot each other for some hair, for some fucking shoes, for a chain, for some money. They love that. They just laugh. They don't care. They go, you drop dead in a store, they'll do business the next day like that shit never happened, yo. Clean that blood up, straighten them aisles up, and they right back in there, man. You know? That's how these people do, man. These devils, man, they don't have these devils, along with the rest of these heathen nations, don't have no love for us, man. Not none. And it took us to go through all of this stuff to realize that, you know? Okay, the brother 808 Israelite, Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers and against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Right. That's right, man. Because really, that's what it is, man. This is a spiritual battle, man. This ain't a physical battle. It's going to get physical, but really, this is a spiritual battle. You know, this is the righteous against the wicked. This is against the right hand against the left side. This is really, this is the movie of Yahweh Shai. You know, so when these demons jump on these people, it really ain't the people that we dealing with, is these demons, man. But that's all right, because the Lord has given us the tools to fight this battle. You know, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Yahweh Dash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching us his word in truth and sincerity, and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. We're almost out of here. Shalom.